Well, that was definitely a way to end it. Welcome in,
Oh,
guys. This is first time host James here. Ryan bailed on us, not giving y'all any
He-
context,
he's
just
a
so that y'all
loser,
are
man.
mad at him.
He's
He
just
bailed
a
on
loser.
us. It's okay. Stars lose. Final score tonight, 6-0.
Whew. Oh my goodness. Uh, what a difference 2 days makes, huh? You know, about the only thing good I can say about that game is uh, Ben didn't cross-check someone in the head and get thrown out.
I wish he would have. I mean, we might have looked better.
No, no. I mean, we'd feel better, but it would be worse. That's not who we are, and that's not who Ben is. Yeah, yeah, very, very tough to watch that. You keep expecting a response. We had such good response with Ryan's word from last game, right? Response. No, nothing. We couldn't even pop Hill once. So I was totally wrong on my pregame prediction of Swiss cheese for Hill. So bummer.
Just so that y'all kind of get an idea how this one's gonna go. We're probably not gonna spend a long time on this one. I don't really want to talk about this game all that much.
Hey,
well,
plug DraftKings and Raycon up
yeah,
there.
our sponsors are Raycon and DraftKings. I don't even think I said the name of the show. It's Sarcastic
Nope,
Remarks. I think if
that's
y'all are
us.
listening to this one, you'll
That's right.
probably already know the name of it. But man, that was pathetic.
Hey, we held
Not
on to
fun
the
to watch.
bitter end of that game, James. We
Yeah.
did. We didn't
We
turn it
we did
off.
watch the whole thing. I
We
didn't
didn't turn it
watch
off.
2 minutes of it after they scored that fourth goal, but I came back, I watched the whole thing. I sat down all the way until the end.
They
But
showed
I
people
mean,
leaving. One thing I'm disappointed in, and I think I'll make this my biggest loser. Though there were lots of opportunities today, so I don't know. Maybe I'll pick another one when we get to that section. But they showed people leaving the arena at the second intermission when it's 4-0. And I guess those people were right. I mean, I guess technically they were right because you look
yeah,
at what
good for
happened in
them.
the end score. Good for them. They saved 30 minutes of their lives. But the possibility was there. We've done it before. That was just, I don't know. I didn't like that. So
I don't know. I think a lot of that comes with just how
bandwagon
poorly
fans.
the team was playing too. I mean, the
Yeah,
the
we
the
were playing
game
poorly.
we didn't look good, but for like maybe toe shifts from the Domi Delandria Kiwi line, which obviously that clicked. That'll be fun, maybe, but it's probably not coming back. We'll see.
Yeah.
It's just this is such a disappointing game to end on. To me, this one was worse than game three. And I mean, we can talk about the series as a whole. I mean, you go down 3-0, pretty tough to claw back in it. They gave us two great games, and honestly, we should not have made it as far as we did. But to end the same way that it started, or that the same way game three ended, is just
Hey,
not fun.
Ryan's saying he's here and he's working right now and can't make it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Don't
yeah,
lie in
yeah.
the chat,
Excuses,
Ryan. Come
excuses.
on.
He just didn't want to come on. He's just a baby.
We're ragging on him. He really is working. He's on another band trip. How many band trips do you get anyway? Yeah,
12.
did you go on 5 band trips every year or something? I don't
Yeah,
remember that.
it's something like that. But yeah.
We get to rag on him because he's not here, but that's all right. To me, this game was not as bad as game 3, because in game 3 we totally took the Jamie Benn piece and we folded early. All right. In
Yeah,
this
but
one,
the reason why I
we
think
did
this
not do
one's
that.
worse is we folded before anything happened. The game was over before it started. I mean, we came in, we did not look great out of the start. We didn't. Vegas was honest the entire time. We had like no shot attempts. They score the first goal. They had all the shot attempts. We had like 4 shots on goal for a majority of the third period, or the first period. Sorry, it
couldn't
was
break the forecheck. They definitely were the better team tonight. No questions
yeah.
asked on that one. Um, Eichel still can't score. Hit the post.
He's so snake bit. I don't even know what to talk about in this game because I mean, there's just you point out any player on the Stars roster and you're like, yeah, they didn't play great, and then you point out another one, yeah, they didn't play great.
Hey, pull Matt up for us. Let's pull Matt H's up there. Look at this. Hey, this is what playoffs does, boys. So my first year of listening to you guys, and now I'm a lifelong listener. So any insights, CL's off season schedule would be appreciated. Well, James will give you some details.
I'll just give you something real quick. We're probably looking at Wednesday nights, like every Wednesday night for the off season. We might miss a couple in there. I'm not sure. We'll see how it goes, but we'll try to be here for every Wednesday night.
And welcome and thank you, Matt. Great to have you. And tough to end on this one. James and I were like, we gotta go on tonight. They're gonna set up a real season end podcast to really review kind of the season as a whole. Great, we made it to Game 6 of the Western Conference Finals. Okay, that's a successful season. That's a very successful season. We had some great moves at a team level. We locked some players in that are going to be here for a long time. It's going to grow the team. There's nothing to be unhappy about at the team level right now.
Yeah, this team's not going away. I mean, this team's going to be a menace in the Central for at least the next 4 or 5 years, in my opinion.
All right, let's drive on probably our biggest concern / complaint from tonight.
Yeah.
What say you, James?
Just the heart didn't feel like it was there. I mean,
the heart
all night long. It just, I mean, we had that one shift in the second period where I thought maybe we were going to get back in it. Hakanpää throws a big hit. Hintz throws another hit. Hakanpää throws a second hit.
Wait a minute. Commercial break.
Yeah. What happens right after the commercial break? And it's an offensive zone draw too. They win it. They go all the way down the ice, score on the rush. And that's it.
Yeah. Like, that was the gut punch. But on this one, to me, and we talked about it a little bit while the game was going on, we really expected Jamie Benn to come back and be a difference maker in this game.
And he hurt us honestly tonight. I thought he played worse than Olofsson did last game. I mean, he was not the player who we saw, not just like in the last series. I mean, the whole season. I mean, he just did not show up in this series at all. He cost us Game 3. He was out for the 2 games that we won. Came back into Game 6 and does nothing.
So tough, very tough end to the season for Jamie. Definitely Renaissance, man. It was a great year for him. What a great year for him. And unfortunately,
and that's why it's so frustrating too. Because I mean, he has such a great year. You know he can do it because he did it all season long. And it's the playoffs. He's one of the most experienced guys on the team when it comes to playoffs. And you just don't see it. And when you're talking about your captain who you fought for 2 games to get him back into the series, and he comes in and does nothing.
Now let's
disappointing.
We can share the blame. We're not blaming Ben for this one.
Ben's
totally.
Fault. I already said last episode, if we lose this game, it's Ben's fault.
Well,
and I still stand by that. I mean,
he believes it's all Ben's fault.
He's got to keep the team in the right mindset. I mean, when you're talking about the captain, like I know he leads by example, but he didn't show us anything.
You'd be okay with a chant, "Hey Ben, it's all your fault.
You suck."
No.
Yes.
Stand by your statement. I'm okay with you standing by your statement. This was not just Jamie Benn. We did expect more from him. We expected him to drive the team. The rest of the team did not show up. Also, you're correct from the beginning.
But that's my big problem too, though, is we expected him to do something and he did less than something, which I didn't even think was possible.
But we got to look at both sides of this one. Vegas finally has their backs against the wall. All right. And their motivation is there. They know. I mean, if we get to Game 7, we win.
I mean,
You
it
know,
was it was it was a great game by Vegas, yes, but it's just it, it's it's so disheartening to see this team fight for 2 games and then come into this one and it's not even close. I mean,
and
this was
especially
by
not
far
even
the
the.
worst game of the series, I think, like, in terms of the way they played. Like, game 3
It is very
is
similar
an
to 3.
anomaly. Game 3 is an anomaly to me because Ben cross-checked a dude in the face and was out for the whole game. You're playing
Yeah,
down a forward for the entire game now.
we played the same way in this game, unfortunately. Yes, so I do agree with you from that perspective. It was it was hard to watch for sure. Um, so the positive, there was one positive that I saw out of this game, and we'll call it out, um, and that's Lindell. Lindell saved a goal early by swatting it out. It went over the top, and they scored on the power play. But he sure made a difference on that one, and made several other really good plays that I saw. And I couldn't think of anyone else that I could call out on the positive side either. So it was a challenging one.
So that's your biggest winner.
Yep. My biggest winner is going to be Lindell. So
I'll I'll give you my biggest winner. It was Carlson. I mean, he had a great game, and
yep.
that shot. I don't remember which goal it was, if it was a second or first or second, but it was just a 6 shot. I mean, there's not much you can do on that.
Yep.
He was all over us tonight.
Yeah, definitely a challenge. Biggest loser for me. I hate to do this in a way, but I've got to give it to Ottinger this time. He played good enough the last 2 games. Team played good defense in front of him in general last 2 games. We needed him to stand on on his head. We needed him to steal
Well,
a game. We had to have something, and he couldn't. He couldn't. And
and I
again,
think
Vegas gets credit for a big piece of it too. But I did expect a little more out of Andre as well.
yeah, I mean, the big problem for me with Otter is that he didn't win us a game all series. I mean, that's we expect him to normally have at least one good performance out of 6 games, and we didn't see a world beater Otter in 6 games,
Yeah, we
not
did not.
one.
We did not this
And
series. That's correct.
you get one in any of those games, and this series
Changes
is
things.
going 7.
And
Like,
truthfully, Hill, I could switch my biggest winner if to
yeah,
not be a
my
homer. I
biggest
give it to Hill.
the other biggest winner I was gonna pick Hill. Yeah.
Yeah. He outdueled Otter all the way. 2 shutout games. Um, that was great. I saw some of the comments earlier. I forget who it was that was saying, "I don't want Kachuk to get it." I'm with you. I'm with you. He's absolutely Conn Smythe if they win. Um, but if Hill can stand on his head like he did during our season, during our series here, and he can do that against Florida, he may well get the Conn Smythe out of that one.
Yeah.
So
My
I
biggest
guess I'm
loser,
rooting for Vegas.
I don't even have to say my biggest loser. Y'all all know what it is. Y'all listened last episode. Y'all heard me earlier in the episode. I'm not even gonna say it. I
Oh,
don't
so let me ask a follow-on question because I know we talked about this a little bit too. So one of the people we were watching the game with said, "Is it time to change the captain?"
no.
No.
No, it's not. Ben is still the captain of the Dallas Stars. He had a pretty disappointing postseason. I'm actually going to go look at his numbers real quick because I don't know really how much he scored. I know it wasn't top 3, and he was our second best
Yeah.
goal scorer
Well,
or points
while you're
scorer in
hunting
the
that up,
entire season.
let me wax eloquent on the season a bit, and because I won't be with you on Wednesday, I'll probably be listening Thursday morning while I'm driving into work. I got a whole week driving into work this week, so it makes it a tough one for me on late nights. I like to listen while I'm driving in the early mornings, but just from a season perspective, all the way to the Western Conference Finals. I guess what I'm most proud of is after Game 3, we didn't let it roll over and die. The Canes have been swept 3 times in the conference finals. The last 3 times they've made it, we very much could have been in the same boat, and we did not. We backboned up. We took it, and we got 2 big wins, and that was a lot of fun. It sure made this series a little bit more palatable. Although games 3 and 6 here make it very hard to swallow as well. But so that's pretty good out of us for being strong and tough in those situations. From a speculative side, looking forward, you know, the mental toughness within a game, I haven't seen yet. So
Yeah.
maybe something you guys can talk about Wednesday, or y'all can add in the chat if you have some ideas. But where's the mental toughness inside of a game? So there were a few times where we came back during the season. We came back from down, and several years back, that was a hallmark of our team, right? We were never out of it, right?
Yeah.
And I did not see that in this season, so that's kind of
Yeah.
one thing that
I mean,
worries me just a little
we
bit
we saw it
from that
back.
perspective.
We saw it back in December a little bit, but after December, I mean, there was really there was not a lot of comeback anything for the Stars, and lots of overtime losses, which still proved to be a problem in this series. I mean, we finally won one, but I mean, we went 1-3 in the playoffs.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
tough to do
yeah.
tough to do
Our
anything when you can't win
and
one.
that's kind of also that same kind of that same kind of mental toughness within a game, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe can be attributed to something similar. What awesome runs for Robo this year.
Yeah.
Uh,
It was nice to
wow.
see that Robo got to get back. He got in this series, which was
In
really,
this
really
series,
good to see because he hasn't looked good in any playoff series so far.
he
It was his 4th one, and he finally started scoring. He scored 5 in the series. I mean,
he learned how to
that's
play in the
really
playoffs
comforting.
this series. He learned
Yeah,
how to play in the playoffs. So watch out next year, because I don't
yeah,
think he's going to have a lag like he did this year. So
and
playoffs will be it's something he's done and learned and worked through. So that'll be good.
so
Love seeing Wyatt um, jump in and just pitch in this season. So and we got more coming down the pipe, right?
yeah.
so
I mean,
so
Stankoven had a 5-point game in the whatever the cup is called for the development league, but
yep.
they scored 10 goals on their opponent, and Wyatt was a part of 5 of them. So so they're having fun over there. We'll see how much better he does. I'm sure we'll talk about that on our Wednesday night episodes, but just
Yep.
keeping it to this game. I mean, it's a tough game to lose on overall in the series. You can't not play for 2 games out of the series.
Yep.
And
Yep.
and
Yep.
that's what happened. We
Definitely.
didn't play for 2 of these games in the series, and those
Maybe
were the
even
most
three if you
obvious.
count game. If you count game one, maybe even
Well, we
three.
come back in that game, so we lose in overtime in that game. That was a very winnable game,
But
and
it was
game
not a good
2
game. We didn't
and
play
game
much.
2 went just the opposite way. I mean, we played an
Yep.
amazing game, and we
Yep.
gave it up in the last 2 minutes, and you look back on that Suter
Mm,
turnover now, and then not covering the dude in front, you're like, "Oh my goodness, man," like,
yep. Yep.
and
A
and
series
and
changer.
and you also look at the Johnston chance right in front of the net in overtime in the first minute, and you're like,
Yep. Yep.
you're
What
sitting
ifs,
there,
right?
yeah, you're thinking
So
that,
many what ifs. It's a
and
team
then,
game.
mhm,
We're not gonna blame one person for all of it for sure. It's a team game. Such
when
a
you're
great
looking
season.
when you're looking at the series as a whole, though, you're looking at game 2, and you had too many chances to win
Yeah.
game 2,
Yeah.
and you make one mistake, you make 2 mistake on the same play, boom, done.
Yeah. 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 So, you know, I haven't had this much fun in years. The 2020 bubble playoffs were fun, but not like this. Not
It's a
like
different
this. We got
thing.
to go to that Most of the family, and James didn't get to on this one, but most of the family got to go to the watch party last game, and it was so much fun. I'm so glad we did that. Thanks to Chris Fioretti, who encouraged me to, hey, you want to go? And yeah, it was so fun, and just looking forward to next year now. I do hope Vegas wins it over Florida. I really don't want Kachuk to win the Conn Smythe either. So
I don't know what you
well,
have
I guess
against Kachuk.
yeah, he's an awesome player, and he
Yeah,
also seems to
and
be a
he's
great kid. He
yeah,
really
he's
seems to
winning it
be.
for his team right now. I mean, he's scoring at
He's carrying
every
his team.
opportune moment.
But I hope Vegas crushes them. That's what and then we've only lost to the Stanley Cup champion, right? That's the way you play it. Yeah, good game, boys. Handshake line. I hope you win it, so we look good.
Yeah, so definitely a disappointing game to go out on here, but
Yep, challenging.
When you try to look at the series as a whole, I mean, we had 4 absolutely spectacular games of hockey to watch in this series. I mean, game 3, game 6 were awful. Okay, throw them away. You look at the 4 games that we just didn't
maybe not
play
game
in.
1.
Game 1 was still in terms of an entertainment game. That was a spectacular game to watch.
Agreed. It was fun.
That's why, I mean, it's so hard for me to not just look at game 6 and go like, oh my goodness,
I'm loving the chat, man.
they're all fighting whether it should be Vegas or Panthers. Everyone's getting mad at you for choosing dates.
I got nothing against Vegas. They're a good team, and okay, and actually, I'll give you why as well, because when Vegas started out, I happened to be in Vegas for a conference, their first home game, and so I got to go to their first home game ever, and so they are definitely my second team. I didn't want them to win, and but I'll definitely take them over Florida. and I'll bear up under all the grief from the chat too. Bring it on. Let's go.
I think we're gonna leave it there for tonight.
Let's do it. You guys
we will see y'all again on Wednesday. It'll just be me and Ryan, but we're gonna try to do a season recap, try to go over overall as a whole, see what I'm sure we'll pull up some interesting stats. We'll talk about the Renaissance, I'm sure. We'll talk about Robertson getting to 100 points. I mean, and probably look forward to next year too.
That's right.
We might stretch that into a different episode, but nonetheless, again, disappointing game to end on, but I mean, great season as a whole. You got anything else?
What a year! It was quite a run. I wish we could have taken Vegas to one more game, and I think we would have won it. But Vegas was not gonna let us do it tonight. So good job by the Knights. Let's beat them next year.
Yeah. Thank you all for coming along on this awesome playoff run with us. It's so much fun coming on here and getting to just complain and y'all just listen to us and enjoy it. Like, what are y'all doing? But thank y'all so much. It's awesome to come on here.
Like our post game 3 1-day delayed therapy session.
Yeah,
that sure helped me.
Yeah. So we'll see. I'll see you again on Wednesday. Ryan will too.
Yeah, he'll be he's crying, he's like laying over his cereal crying right now, and he'll be okay. We'll take care of him. He'll be back.
I'm sure he will. All right. We'll catch y'all guys later.
On the flip side, boys.